right, so let's break down this Henry Ruggs situation. We hear some news coming out of Las Vegas, pretty much deciding where the case should be heard. So right now, defense filed a motion to remove Henry Ruggs' case back to the Las Vegas Justice Court, which is Joe Bonaventure's court, and it was denied by the current judge, Harmony Latisse. Now I'll tell why. Because essentially it was in Joe Bonaventure's case, but Judge Bonaventure said he is going to recuse himself from, the case because he said that he previously made comments on it during his campaign for re-election to court. So he didn't want to involve himself in it because that may be a situation that may be sticky for him. So the defense team, that pretty much Ruggs' defense team, Chestnut and Schoenfeld, argued the case should remain in his court since he sees DUI cases. Now, the Las Vegas Clark County prosecutors said they have no position on the motion Ruggs defense appeal to justice. So they said it indicated they have no position on the motion, right? So Ruggs' defense appealed to Justice Court Chief Judge Cynthia Cruz. However, Cruz indicated she was not available to discuss the party with both matters, pretty much saying, "Hey, I don't want to talk about it." Not sure why they don't want it in Harmony Latisse's court, maybe from a history or whatever. But right now, it's in Judge Harmony Letitia's court, and she basically said she felt she had no authority to send it back to Bonaventure's court. So it seems like Henry Ruggs wants the team to be in Bonaventure's court. Now, she went on to say this: "I have no authority to tell Judge Bonaventure either to make an additional order or to rescind the case back to him, for him to make that order." Latisse told defense attorneys Chestnut and Richard Schoenfeld on Monday, because Justice Court 9 is not an inferior tribunal to Justice Court 3. I have no jurisdiction to rule on this issue, so I'm denying it based on that. So the only reason she's denying it not to go back to Joe Bonaventure's court is because she says she doesn't have the authority to do it. So she's just gonna, it is what it is. I'm not sure why they want him to go back to that court. Maybe it's something he said to see the case that would help Ruggs, but essentially it's not going back to that court. Now, Chestnut said Ruggs' attorneys basically said the defense plans to appeal that ruling to the 8th Judicial Court, District Court. So the 8th, another court essentially that may be in favor of Ruggs. But Ruggs' team repeated to intent. So this is the biggest thing right here. The Ruggs team repeated their intent to file a new motion to suppress suppress blood alcohol evidence in the case. However, they told Judge Latisse they don't want that motion to prejudice their judicial argument. So basically what he's saying, what they're doing is they're looking for a court that will suppress that information, not bring it up. Basically saying the reason why he did what he did was because he was on alcohol, right? So when they asked to suppress in July 2002, it was denied. So they may be looking to see where can they suppress it to get Henry Ruggs a lesser sentence. Here's why. So he's charged with being under the influence, right? After illegally crashing his SUV into Tina Tintor, a 23-year-old woman, killed her and her dog. The vehicle burst into flames, trapping them inside. Ruggs was driving 150 miles per hour, and he had a blood alcohol level that was twice the Nevada limit. So, like I said, right now he's on house arrest. Why is it important? He's facing up to 50 years. Why is it important? Because you have involuntary manslaughter. You have which is voluntary manslaughter. Let me play this. You have involuntary manslaughter. You have the speed limit 150 miles per hour, which is reckless driving, which is a criminal offense. And then you also have the blood alcohol level, which is twice as much. So this is kind of what they're dealing with, that he can have years on years on years of pretty much in prison if he's convicted. Now, here's the thing. Here's the difference. Interesting scenario here. So, if you guys remember Dante Stallworth back in 2005, he actually struck and killed a pedestrian. He was going 40 and 50, going 50 miles per hour in a 40 mile per hour zone. He was drinking. His blood alcohol level was 0.112 over the .08 limit. So not twice as much as Ruggs, but still up there. And then, but he got charged with, and this is Florida too. Now, this is Florida. Florida, they put people to death down there. Florida pretty much gave him this. He was released on $2,000 bail. He received a sentence of 30 days in county jail, had 1,000 hours of community service, 2 years of community control, and 8 years of probation. They permanently suspended his driver's license, and he was released from county jail 24 days after the 30-day sentence. Now, here's the difference, and this is why, 50 and a 40 is not necessarily a criminal, reckless offense, not necessarily criminal. They can argue that down in court, so it's not criminal. His blood alcohol level was 0.4 over, so it's not a drastic amount. So he actually pleaded guilty instead of fighting the charges. The reason why Ruggs has to fight the charges in this situation is because his situation was a lot worse. You're going well over, 5-6 times the speed limit, or 3-4 times the speed limit. Your blood alcohol was twice as much, and I think he had a weapon in the car. So there's a lot of things that are in there, and in there. And you hit another vehicle as well, too, not a pedestrian. So there's a lot of things in there that don't allow Ruggs to kind of just plead guilty to this. He has to fight it. What's the outcome? I don't know. We'll see where this court lands, where they held this they have this case. But depending on the court, I think that what they're going to look for is for them to suppress that alcohol information so they can essentially say, hey, you know what? He was speeding, it was reckless driving, and he killed someone. So their best bet is involuntary manslaughter. I personally, in his situation, I don't see him walking away without doing less than a year. I think that he's going to have to do less than a year from what I'm seeing right here. But we'll see what happens. He's still in house arrest. We'll still see this kind of play out. And of course, after all this, there's a civil suit that probably needs to take place where they're going to try to hit Ruggs financially. So we'll see what happens. Praying for the Tina Tintor's family, praying for Ruggs. Everyone in this, I hope you like to see these things come to a conclusion where both people are satisfied, but that's not always the case.